How do you do that? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you to those who stick around and to those who will come up on this video and watch it to the end or part way. Thank you for your time. I'm using my phone to record and I don't have a lot of space, so I'm just gonna move right into the video. So today I want to talk about how to save money. I know these are some tough times that we're living in. Interest rate is high, inflation is high, everything is going up except for your salary. And how can you save from what you have left after paying your bills? I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips on how you can save on a monthly basis or how you can save from your salary. Some of these tips are what you've heard before. Some might be new to you, so stick around. You never know what might stand out as a new or good idea. The number one tip on how to save on a monthly basis. This is something that we have heard over and over and over and over again, and it is still the number one tip. And I'm sure you know what I'm coming with. Yes, have a budget. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to see what you're spending on a monthly basis, your expenses, and what you are earning and what you can save. And in order to have a clear picture of that, you want to have a budget in place. So once you establish your budget, you want to now print your budget out. Some people have their budget on their phones. Some people have it in an Excel sheet on their computer. Some have it in a book. But how often are you checking that budget? I would say print your budget out and put it on the fridge. If you're intentional about meeting your goal, print your budget out and put it on the fridge door. Okay, so when you're making your budget, one thing that you want to add in your budget is a cost for miscellaneous. You don't want to be too tight and too rigid, so put a little buffer in your budget. Some people can afford $25, some can afford $50, some $75, some $100. Depending on what you can afford on a monthly basis, put that little buffer in just in case. Don't be too tight. All right, so now that you have your budget, you know how much you're earning, you know how much you're spending, and you know what is left for savings. The big question is, how do I save what's left? There are people who are disciplined who will take their savings out as their salary hits the account. So as soon as they get paid, they transfer their savings to another account. And there are people who will pay their bills and then save what's left. And then there are people who will just keep everything in one account, and then by the end of the month, they don't have any savings. So in tip number 2, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can save what's left. So the first thing that you want to do is to always have more than one account. Have an account for everyday transactions. For example, my checking account. My checking account is for my salary and for bills. You want to have an account for spending, an account for savings, and you can have multiple savings accounts as long as you're not paying a fee to maintain those accounts or paying a fee to use those accounts. And I know that there are some banks that have accounts where you can have different periods in one account. So you can have 10 different periods in one account and saving for 10 different goals in the same account. Secondly, you want to have an automatic transfer on your account. Don't leave it on yourself to transfer money to savings, because sometimes that's not done. If you're really struggling to save, you can think about your savings as an expense. So you can bump up your rent, your car loan, your mortgage payment, bump something up with the amount that you want to save, or condition your mind to see your savings as an expense, something that has to come out of your payroll account. You can save on taxes. So in Canada, we have different accounts that we can use to save on taxes. I would advise everyone to take advantage of those accounts because they're really good. The third way in which you can save money on a monthly basis is to reduce your subscriptions. Like, do you really need Amazon Prime? Do you really need Netflix? Do you really need Crave? Do you really need Disney Plus? All while having an Android box. Do you really need these? Do you really need warranty for your tires? The fourth way you can save on a monthly basis is to think about where you're shopping and making a list. One advantage of making a list and thinking about where you shop is that you'll end up going to the store less often, and you're also less likely to forget an item. And that's what we want to do. We want to remember everything that we want in that one go. Number 5, your eating habits. Are you eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Are you eating out on weekends because you don't like to cook? If you're doing that and you're not able to save on a monthly basis, then probably you need to think about how you can limit the amount of time you eat out, or just quitting completely. Number 6, limiting waste. We all know that we can save more if we use less. And one way to limit waste is to measure portions. Number 7, in Canada, US, and Jamaica is slowly coming on, our primary payment method is a credit card. So if you want to save, you should definitely get a credit card that will help you to earn some rewards. I can't tell you how many times I'm out eating and shopping and I'm using my points to pay for that purchase. So the 8th way you can save money on a monthly basis is to make paying down your high interest debts a priority. So for example, you might be paying a car loan. You can do bi-weekly instead of monthly payments. You might be paying your mortgage. You can do bi-weekly or semi-monthly payments so that you are paying down the principal faster, and in turn you'll pay less interest. If you're carrying a credit card that has a high balance and a high interest, you can look at transferring that balance to a low interest credit card so you can save on interest there. Number 9, sometimes you cannot save anything on a monthly basis because you're not earning enough to save anything from it. So my 9th tip is for you to find a new job. Don't be afraid to leave an employer, because that same employer will hire someone new and pay them $10,000 more for the same role while giving you a raise of $1,000. Don't be afraid to move on. I'm not saying that you should be greedy now because you have a salary in your mind and you're jumping from companies to company. But at the end of the day, you want to ensure that where you are at, you're not only contributing value, but you're getting value from that company as well. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be loyal to a company, and then when you're at 80, you're under a tent. Like you have nothing in retirement. The last tip that I have for you on how to save money on a monthly basis is to stay home. Yes, stay home. Outside is expensive. Once you go outside, it's $100. And if you go too far, it's $200. You might leave home and you're okay, but then when you go and you see these nice ads, all of a sudden you want ice cream, you want burger, you want this, you want that. For me, sometimes it's going to a decor store just to see what's new. That's always my temptation. And when I go there, sometimes I'm either upset with myself or I have to take the items back to the store. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so very much for watching to this point, and I'm gonna ask you to comment down below and tell me that one thing that you do on a monthly basis that helps you to spend less and save more. I would love to hear your view on this.